Hello and welcome to Dimsy's Domain, and this is a Dragon Ball Super theory about Evil Zeno and the return of Zamasu. Just a theory, but before you check this video out, look at the video I done about Zeno, the lonely king of Dragon Ball Super. The thumbnail's quite nice, isn't it? And then another video which is Zeno vs Zeno, a Dragon Ball Super what if discussion featuring Quaman's Land. So make sure you check that out. Now, how would an evil Zeno work out? As of right now, we know that there are two current Zenos, the present Zeno and the future Zeno who travel back in time. Why did he travel back in time? Remember, Dragon Ball Super episode 67, the future Zeno blew up that timeline, and we assume everything within that universe, everything within that timeline, including the 12 universes. Now, why did he do this? Because of the fact that Zamasu went to his astral form, his ghost form, where he was actually consuming and becoming the universe. He lost all consciousness and he had this pure malice to him, pure evil to him, and he's just spreading outwards and outwards. And Zamasu and Zeno was like, this is very unpleasant, let me get rid of this. And he destroyed everything, everyone evacuated. And when Goku and Trunks came back with the time machine to get future Zeno to present him as a friend to the present Zeno, they see Zeno just flying around in absolute emptiness and nothingness, upside down, left, right, whatever you may say, but he was just there and there was nothing around him. And they got him and they took him to present Zeno. Bang, they're friends. But have you ever wondered that because Zamasu was immortal, when Zeno destroyed the timeline and blew up the timeline, you could have had bits and bobs, a few particles of Zamasu, the one half that was trying to take over the universe, just the whole timeline itself, because the other half was Goku Black, and that was killed when Goku shot the Kamehameha, thus explaining the gooey side, the gooey nature on his right side, I believe. But Zamasu had at least one half that was immortal, and even after slicing him up, that was Trunks slicing him up, he was still present. So if there was shards or particles or just his aura, his essence still around when Zeno blew up the timeline, so even if he was in a vapor form, what if Zamasu, that evil Zamasu, even if he doesn't have a consciousness, even if he doesn't have the ability to think, but just that innate nature of evil, hatred, malice towards humanity, just malice towards the gods as well, because he was just as angry at his own kind, at the people who are at a higher level, who were looking the other way, or who weren't operating more efficiently. What if that penetrated and got consumed by Zeno as he was floating in nothingness, even if it was absolutely minuscule, like let's say you have, I don't know, a microgram or something very, very small, a nanoparticle that went inside Zeno, but it slowly flourishes. And this can kind of explain, as time goes on, this future Zeno shows more, he deviates from the characteristics that we've come to know about Zeno from our present timeline. We have to remember this, that the Zeno in the present timeline, he intervened, he came to visit the Universe 6 vs Universe 7 tournament because Champa and Beerus were not doing their jobs, because of the fact that his subordinates, his gods of destruction, which he allocated to these roles, were not doing the position, the role, the job role that they were assigned to. He interfered. Whereas in the future timeline, Zeno did not seem to care. He was completely oblivious, nor did he even, give it any notice that, hey, all 12 universes and the gods of destructions as well as the Supreme Kais have been slaughtered. Surely he would notice that if he was to interfere during the Beerus and Champa altercation. And why wouldn't the future Zeno, which you'd expect is the same type of Zeno, share the same personality characteristics? Why didn't that Zeno also interfere when Goku Black and Zamasu were exterminating all the gods? So in my opinion, the future Zeno was showing characteristics which are a little bit more different. He was a bit more savage. He's just a little bit more callous in the way he goes about things, but at the same time very childlike, as you'd expect from what we know from Zeno. But at the same time he may be a little bit more ruthless, more destined to be ruthless, and thus an easier route to be evil. But how does he become evil? Let's say them two are playing around, yeah? What happens when you are playing with someone that you're very close? Imagine there are characteristics within your own self that you just don't agree with, or like, look, there's maybe I hate my time management, management, and I might get into an argument with myself if I were to clone myself about time management, and there could be a really easy way to argue right there. It's like how you argue with siblings or whomever's close to you or your close friends. You'll always find something to argue about, but you then fix it up. But because they show and exhibit a childlike persona, as children, when you used to play games, when I was on my Mega Drive here, and I used to lose on Street Fighter, I used to get really annoyed, but then I was a kid. But the point was, children are more predisposed to have an argument over such petty things, but because they can't escalate it due to the fact that they have low strength or they don't have the power. But look at Zeno, he has the power to destroy universes. So if these two get into an argument, they are fully like finishing everything. And this is what we spoke about, me and Kwaman's Land, on Zeno vs Zeno and how that could transpire. But listen to this. If, let's say, like Digimon, they have something called the Dark Spores, which is an evil instrument you put inside you, a dark instrument which over time makes you more and more dark and more evil. What if that dark spore, the dark instrument inside that individual is that shard of Zamasu, that aura of Zamasu, the essence of Zamasu when Zeno destroyed it, and it was like a slow burn, slowly but surely infecting him, poisoning his mindset, making him more callous, making him slowly more evil. Because one thing we do know is that Zamasu was pure-hearted. What are you talking about? Yes, he was pure-hearted because he decided what resolve he's gonna do. Instead of being pure-hearted, instead of, you know, helping out and doing good, he thought he was doing good. He thought he was helping out by eradicating all the mortals and thus rectifying the order between gods and mortals. Heck, rectifying the way gods should behave. So I see Zamasu coming back in that sense. He could then possess Zeno. Now, can you imagine? Firstly, Zamasu, I done a video regarding the voice actor, the amazing voice actor for the Japanese voice of Zamasu, because we know that the English dub is announced, so we don't know who's gonna voice Zamasu, and I hope they can at least hold a candle to the voice performance, the vocal performance that the Japanese voice did, Shinichiro Miki, and he was absolutely amazing. But the point is, imagine the justification, the personality, the character of Zamasu is possessing Zeno, and you see Zeno is able to emit highly eloquent dialogue, which would be kind of funny coming out of Zeno's mouth, knowing his stature and his childlike personality, and he tries to justify so and so. He doesn't need to be full on Zamasu, but if you see a clear presence of Zamasu within Zeno, we don't even need to know that Zamasu is there. Heck, we can, as the fans, we can really add it up and fill in the gaps in that sense. Why is Zeno acting like this? Oh, and then they may show this one little, well, Goku might say, oh, by the way, he destroyed Zamasu, and maybe Zamasu, he was immortal, and this is where the whole lore can kick in, where the Super Dragon Balls cannot be, well, the power of the Super Dragon Balls cannot even be erased by the Omni-king, which is still unlikely. But this is a theory. This is my little what if Zeno became evil. And let's go even further. I done a video with Geekdom 101, which is gonna be coming out anytime soon on his channel, where we spoke about, look, we can even have him be evil without him knowing that he's doing evil. This can be explained by him being manipulated. He can be like, there could be a puppet master pulling the strings as Zeno is the puppet, or he gets convinced. Because remember, as we said, he emits this childlike persona, and what are children? They're very impressionable, and you could have this evil person or this very smart person to cause a massive impression on him. And who can that be? Well, my candidate is none other than the Grand Priest Dai Shinkan, which I'm going to do a video regarding Dai Shinkan's possible motives. That's going to come out anytime soon. Look out for it. Make sure to subscribe and turn the bell on for notifications. Make sure to leave a like, share, and of course, comment down below. I really want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this possible evil Zeno and the possible, maybe implausible, probably unlikely return of Zamasu, who was, in my opinion, the MVP of Dragon Ball Super thus far? I absolutely adore his character. But anyway guys, that's about it. Make sure you don't bang your head as you exit Dimsy's domain. Thank you and goodbye.